Okay, so this is a super cringeworthy video on how I did each step in this stupid tutorial thing. So this is the end result. It's like a sort of, I don't know, it's a sort of semi-realistic ear. I don't know if this is the style that you want to go for, but to me it's the easiest thing. Like it took like 5 minutes to do this whole thing. So it's pretty quick and it ends up looking pretty nice on the whole thing once you color all of the dogs and everything. So I'll just explain each step. So for the first thing is like it's really hard to do an outline on your own and stuff, and it ends up super like frustrating. So it's easier just to take your line art color, which is like this dark brown, and you just draw in the shape of the ear and you just block it in. And then the next step is that I took the actual flat color, which was like the yellowish shade type thing, and then I just colored on top of it so that it looks like I did an outline. And it's okay to make it sort of messy. I mean, in the end, you'll get like a sort of clean, crisp shape. So it's okay to be messy in the beginning. Like, don't give a fuck about it or anything. And then the next step is I just drew in the flap of the ear. I just drew on top of it. And a tip about this is like every time you do a new action, just like, so you see that you have like your one layer, just like make a new layer on top of it, and then have your brush tool on, and then select your color that you have to do. And then just like if I were to draw the thing here, you just draw it in. And it's like a really big thick line, it's not like perfect. So then you can just take your eraser tool and make it however size you want to, and then just like shape everything. And you can make it into a thin line that way. So that way you don't have to get frustrated if you didn't get like the perfect stroke or whatever. And then once you did shape it properly, like you got the shape that you wanted, you can just go to your layers and then just merge it down. So now you merged it into your layer and now it's properly there and you finished your thing. And then you can continue or whatever. So like every time I did an action here, I made a new layer on top of my original one, and then I just colored and then I erased to shape it properly, and then I just merged down so it's like all on the same layer. You don't have to like keep a ton of layers or anything. I just merge everything into one because it makes it easier to blend all the colors together and make everything kind of like bleed into each other. It's pretty nice. So then I put in the pink color that I needed, which is like a light pink. And then over here, this is like the major important step that you have to do. So it's like what you do is turn on your wand tool, this thing, this tool thing, and then you just go to here. So like let's say I wanted to get to this step, I'm gonna work on this one. So like what I do is I select it and it selects the whole flat color. And then the color that I used is this one or like these two because they're nice like shadow shades. You never want to use like a dull color. Like don't use this one for shadows. Use like this one. It's pretty cool. It's like an orange tint. It's pretty nice. So like I have my thing selected, so whatever I paint will only paint in this area, and I want to do this shadow. So I turn on my brush tool, and right now it's on my super blocky tool, so see it's like pretty hard and everything. What I want to do is first I select the color, and then I go here, and then you want to change your brush to this one. This is the airbrush tool that I keep talking about. It's a soft brush. It's like the first option that comes up. If you don't have it, I mean, it should be somewhere. Like, look, it's everywhere. Anytime you see like this type of icon, that's your airbrush. I mean, I don't know where else it is. It should be there. It's a default Photoshop brush. It should be. So then you go back and it starts out pretty small. Make it really big, like this big. So see, it's a pretty big circle. You can make it as big as you want. It depends on whatever you're painting. And then you just tap it on there like that. And see, it makes like this nice gradient type of thing. what you should probably do is once you have it selected from the wand tool, you're on that original layer, just make a new layer and then, you know, do your action. So like I did that and I want it to look like this. So on my layer thing, I just lower the opacity down to like this much, like 62, I guess, and then hit enter. And then you would control D to deselect everything. So see, now you have that nice gradient. Then just like again merge it. Oh my god, working with one hand sucks, but okay, you just merge that layer down and see, now it's part of your layer. Whoa, okay, wait, no, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so then to do the inside of the ear, again, you turn on your wand tool and then you click on here and selected the whole thing. I don't know why it won't select that one tiny area. I probably didn't color that area. It doesn't really matter, you can fix it later. It's just a small thing. And then the color that I chose for the inside shadow is like, again, same process. Make a new layer. You have your thing selected, and then let's see, the color I would use is probably I guess this one. It's like not too dark. It's your first shadow, so you don't want to go super dark, but you want like a nice pink. So I go back to my brush tool and then I guess make it a bit bigger. So see, now I did that inside and I want it to be a bit lighter. So again, you go back, lower your opacity, and now it's like this, and then hit enter and then control D, and see, now it's like the same thing. I just made the same thing twice. So you'll see like there are some areas that are like a bit kind of wonky, like that part of the line that's coming past the outline. So like you can fix that by just going back. Oh shit. You can fix that by going back to your typical brush and then make the size. Yeah, see, the size is already small, and just like kind of paint over it. The color is this one, so just, oh god, really? Okay, yeah. So just like paint over it and stuff like that, and like fix it up. You just gotta be careful with it. And then once you do that, that's the main thing. That's like the big thing. You want to always use an airbrush because it gives you all the colors to work with, and then when you do all of these hard changes and these shadows and stuff like that, it still looks nice because you already have this airbrush thing that goes through. It's like a nice gradient. It's a good background to start with, and it's like, you should do this no matter what. Like whatever style you decide to go with, do this so that you can build up depth no matter what. It's a really quick, easy thing. So yeah, once you do that, then over here, I chose some slightly darker colors. So like you'll see I chose this pink over here, and I did the, what is it? I just drew a shape for like my shadows. It's a ear, so like you always want shadows on the edges. Like that's where shadows usually are, and then you obviously the inside of the ear has a shadow, so I did that. The shape is entirely up to you. It depends on your style. I always do a petal sort of shape because it's what I'm used to. And for the outside of the ear, the color that I chose is like really close to this edge that it looks like it blends in nicely. It looks pretty nice. So, and then again, I do the edges, and it's the same process as before. Like you would make a new layer and then you would do your shape and then use your eraser tool, shape it nicely, and then merge it down and everything. And you'll notice I've started like painting over slightly on the outline. That's just because I don't really care about line art that much. It's up to you how much you want to keep line art in your thing. I personally like end up putting line art in like small areas to kind of stylize it. It's up to you. It's a choice, like stuff like that. So yeah, those are the shapes I did. I didn't do any blending yet. And then this is the blending part that I guess you also struggle with, so I'll explain that. It's like I go to my smudge tool. I don't have a keyboard shortcut because I'm lazy and this is my first time doing it, I guess. So let's see, I have it really small. You'll see it's like there's nothing there. The size is 9. Like, it depends on, just make it super small, I guess. I find it easier on Clip Studio Paint. There's like a really nice uh, blurring brush, which is what I use, so I never had to care about stuff like this, but Photoshop is shitty and shitty. I need to enunciate my curse words. Okay, Photoshop is like shitty, so it's like, it's just difficult. You have to like import brushes and figure out stuff. So let's see, what I do is like, this blending is pretty weird in my opinion, but you know, I just went along with it because I thought it would just do it that way. So you just go over it. Oh wait, no, I'm on the wrong layer. Okay, so you just go over it and you'll notice this like really small. I'll make it like a bit bigger. Wait. Yeah, 15. So I'm starting to blend and it's a weird process. Okay, and like the way that I blend is like, this is my hand, right? I just go like this. I don't take it off at all. You shouldn't lift your finger. Just make it easy for yourself so that you don't have to struggle with like doing one stroke over and over. So yeah, I just blend in this thing, I guess. You just want like a nice gradient. I guess blend this area. It's kind of, you just gotta like be patient with it. I mean, not really patient, it takes like a few seconds, but you know, blend in some areas. You don't have to blend in everything, so like over here, I'm not gonna blend the edges of the fold that I made. I'm just gonna do the edge, because that makes it look nice. You want like hard edges too, you don't want everything to be soft. And then I guess blend this in. I'm doing it by looking at my phone, so like it's kind of shitty, but oh well. Okay, there, whatever. Just pretend that's enough. So then you do your blending, you get your effect that you want, and then the next step is, this is kind of a style thing. I like to put in hard shapes. It keeps things looking fresh and cool. I don't know. It's a weird analytic. It's a weird thing. It's your choice again. So like, I chose a harder color, not harder, like darker. So I didn't, it's not from this palette, I just kind of went to the color picker thing and made it a bit darker. It's like a nice maroon color. And I drew in like these little like fur tufts, which are usually in the ear. You can make it whatever color you want. I'm pretty sure like corgis also have like white fluffy stuff in their ear, so you could do that. You could do whatever color you want, just try to get this shape in. It's pretty cute. And like, you know, again, new layer, and then like I use the eraser tool, shape it, and then merge it down or whatever. So, and then I also put like some hard, dark shapes around the edges, because it just looks nice. It's pretty cool. So you can do that. And then I just blended in this area because I thought it would look nicer and instead of having just a hard circle shape. So then that was it. That's it. Like that's all it was. So that's the process. I guess when you're coloring anything, just follow that. Do that type of technique. Always do the gradient thing. I don't know, this is a lifesaver when it comes to colors and stuff, and it avoids this really, like here, I'll show you. Nope, here. It avoids this super flat shape. Like everything here is really flat, even though you have other colors in there. It's like such a slight variation that in the end it doesn't even look like any sort of depth. But like if you have all these other colors, you end up with a lot of cool depth, like this nice orange shade. You don't even have to go to this step. You could end it here or end it here. It's your choice again. You just gotta explore and see what style you want. Like, I think do up to this step, and then like from here, this is all like my style. So like you can explore, you can do different shapes. You don't have to blend as much. You can blend a little bit. Realistically, you should blend a little bit. It's kind of like art 101. It looks nicer. It looks better. And yeah, that's the end of this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Whoa.